Okay, now let's take an active approach to dealing with the tinnitus. When I first lost my hearing, there was still hope that I would get it back. That's what the doctors were telling me. I had first they said I had 85% chance of recovering the hearing, then it turned into 65% of the chance, then it turned into not interested in you anymore. So, but I was on edge all the time, listening for any opportunity to get the hearing. I could hear a bass line in a Shakira song. It's like, oh boy, my hearing's coming back, but it not really. But I tell you that because I was taking a shower and being a follically challenged person, I could hear the water hitting on the back of my ears. I could hear the water shower from the water hitting the ears. And I go, wow, I could hear it in the bad ear as well as the good ear. So wow, this is amazing. And what that led to is, just long story short, I found that if I take my ear and fold it forward and tap on the back of the ear, if you try that, you're going to hear a tap, 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 tap. You do it on your good ear, in my case, good ear. It's a little different pitch, but the volume's the same. So I can tap on that. I'm adding sound. I'm actively adding sound as opposed to passively filtering. I'm adding sound. So if I feel the tinnitus coming on, spiking, it's there all the time for me, but it will spike, and I can sense it. I can sense when it's spiking, and I've learned from different environmental factors by keeping a journal when it's liable to spike. But if I hear it starting to whistle and starting to spike, I take my ear and tap it behind it. Now, I'm doing it right now. It just drops. That whistling and hissing just drops. So that really helps me because I'm sending some sound to the brain that it doesn't get normally. So by tapping on this, that good connection that the right side has, the brain-ear connection is good. The left side, the brain-ear connection is not good. By tapping on it, it creates a bit of a connection, and it really settles it down. So that doesn't cost you anything. So try that. So the next thing is to hearing aids. I don't have much hearing to aid, but they do offer, most hearing aids, I think all of them, have a sound generating capacity. When this first happened to me in 2017, the thing that all the audiologists that I went to recommended the Widex system because they were trying to specialize more in the tinnitus aspect of things. And what they do is they create, with the Widex system, they'll take the hearing that you can hear and they'll create, it's almost like a wind chime kind of effect, and you can play that in your ear. And once again, they're using the hearing that you do have and making a connection between the ear and the brain, and it just plays all the time. You can have it so it's just barely noticeable, or you can make it louder. You can adjust the volume of it. There's a certain capacity to being able to adjust the pitch yourself at home. I was hoping when I got it, I'd have like an 8 or 16 band or even a 32 band EQ to work with, having music, sound, background. I thought that would be just great, but the truth of it is it's a 3 band EQ, but it's better than nothing. I'm wearing it right now. Let's see if you can hear it. I hope you can hear it. It's feeding back a little bit because of the microphone, but it does that. It offers a white noise type of effect, a low hissing, high hissing, and there's also the hearing aid aspect. I mean, if I'm careful and I keep the EQ adjusted very low, I can actually pick up some sound through the EQ, and you can mix the Widex, they call it that wind chime thing, they call it Zen. There's Zen program with the universal program. The universal program is the hearing program. You can mix and match. But this is all for you to talk about with your audiologist. My 2 cents on that is that when you go to your audiologist, keep in mind they are in business to sell you products. If it helps your hearing and helps you out, that's great. But the harsh reality of it is they're in business to sell product. So just keep that in mind when you walk in the door. For me, I would go for the one that has the most home adjustability that you can possibly do. I mean, the more that you can adjust it in your, in your home environment to your needs, the better it's going to be. Yeah, I'm going to have a section on doctors and ENTs and audiologists and that blasted hearing test and all that. There's going to be a section on that and what I've learned about dealing with that aspect of this problem. But what we're talking about now is active, and that's actively adding sound to your bad ear, the ear that has the tinnitus, and helping to create a connection between that ear and your brain. Basically, go to your audiologist and hear what they have to say about it. Now, there are some things I'd like to add to that dialogue that you're going to have. You can do it inexpensively yourself. There are earbuds, such as this. This is about $30, and it has a little battery, and you stick it into your computer and charge it up. What the earbud does is you can take this and connect it to your, you can sync it with your phone, you can sync it with your iPad, I believe you can sync it to your Kindle, and then on your phone, iPad, Kindle, whatever device that you have, you can download a tinnitus app. And many of those apps will have a variety of white noise, or they call it brown noise, ocean sounds, cat purring, rainfall, and you can have that app on your say it's on your Kindle, and have this thing in your ear, and it almost does the same thing as the hearing aid does. I mean, almost for $30 and a free app, you can get 80% of what a $2,000, I didn't mean to use that finger, of what a $2,000 hearing aid can do. But I mean, the hearing aid's great because it's mobile. You can adjust it on the fly. It has different settings, and you can also adjust it with your iPhone. I mean, there are lots of great things about the hearing aid, so I'm not saying not to do that. But you can certainly experiment with it quite a bit inexpensively at home. And if you don't have the budget, this is a way to help actively add pleasant sounds to the tinnitus side of your hearing, and that will help make the connection between the brain and ultimately calm things down. Does it solve the problem? Does it make your problem go away? None of this does that. But all of this helps the problem a lot. Okay. It's a little cool down here, so I'm putting the hat back on. Now here's another neat, active way to help with your tinnitus. There we go. You know what that is? Chewing gum. One of the bonuses of all this is the side of my hearing that's gone bad. There's a little bit of face numbness too. That was one of the reasons I thought I might have had a stroke. So that's why I had to have all the MRIs and that. I didn't. They still don't know what caused all this. But what I found is that may have been a mistake. The sound of chewing the chewing gum, it also adds sound to the brain. Something about bone conductivity and that masticating sound helps do that as well. So that's another tool that you have in your tool bag is chewing gum. I never was much of a chewing gum chewer, but now I chew gum quite a bit. Because if I'm out in the shop or out in the garage working, even with the headphones on, I find that chewing gum helps keep it calm. If I'm doing a spin class, man, I am chewing that gum. That really helps. So it's just another cheap, neat trick that can help you. Now, an interesting little side note I've noticed with the wearing the sound generating device, or the Widex, is that if I am playing this in my ear for an hour or two and I take it out of my ear, sometimes I'll find myself reaching to feel if it's still there. Because, again, I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you firsthand that the ear seems to have a memory. So if you're doing this white noise or adding sound to your ear through a sound generating device such as the Widex or the little cheap earbud with the app I was telling you about earlier, that even when you take it out, there's a residual positive effect from it. There seems to be still some memory of that sound even after it's gone. So this is another positive thing to doing the active approach. And one last thing on the active side of fighting the tinnitus is a thing called ear pajamas. And it's a cute name for basically sleeping headphones. Now, often people that have tinnitus have a hard time going to sleep, and I'm lucky that I'm not one of those people. But this can help you quite a bit. I do have an active brain, and it doesn't take much for me to be lying awake thinking about different things. So I find that this has really helped calm my mind down so I can go to sleep. And I think it could help you too if the tinnitus is keeping you awake, and I'll explain it all right now. So this is a little headband that has little bitty skinny soft speakers in them. And what you do is you put this on, and you can slide it around till you get the balance like you want it. Like for me, I want the left ear to be right over the ear because there's nothing that, I'm not, my left ear isn't good. My right ear is good, so I can have it off a little bit. And also these things will slide around within the band themselves, so you can scoot them around. Like I say, it's a little cool in the shop this morning, so I'm going to wear my hat. The other thing is you're going to notice it's wired. They do offer Bluetooth versions without a wire, but I'm told that the Bluetooth version doesn't work as well. And you're thinking, well, this wire is going to choke me in the night. It never does. I've never had a problem with it. You just route it over the pillow or under the pillow. And the beauty of it is you can sleep on one side, and whatever side that's on, it's going to be real loud, and you can scoot it around. Anyway, there's a bit of a balance adjustment capability in these things because you can move them around. They're very comfortable. You won't even notice you're wearing them. So what do we do with all that? There's an app. It's a free app, or if you want to upgrade it, it'll cost you $1, and it's called Relax Melodies. And what it is a sound generating program, and it'll have sounds. They'll have a brainwave sound if it is part of it, and it'll be it's a sound that goes or deeper or lower, faster or whatever. And then you can pick a sound from nature, like cat purring or crickets chirping. So say you go woo, and then you add cat purring to it. So you have those two sounds. I find that mixing 3 sounds works really well for me. And then you could have a sound from like Tibetan chimes or guitar music or something. And so you take these 3 sounds, or you could do as many as you want. You could do 1 sound, you could do 5 sounds, however you want to mix it. Put on your headphones and mix it so you like it. You can have more tree frog, less waterfall. You could have just mix it around. And you finally get the sound that you like, and you bookmark that as like whatever you want to call it. And you can bookmark several sounds. There's also a timer on it, so you can put this on, and you can adjust the volume so it's not annoying. If you're listening to it and you're finding that the wind chimes are too loud, go back, slide the wind chimes down, bring up the cat purring. Personally, I like the brainwave sound, which is what they call the woo 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 with the cat purring. That works for me because they tend to be more of a baritone or bass kind of sound, so it really helps settle me down. But you get the mix that you like, you save it, you try another mix, you save it, so you have it on hand. And then when you go to bed, you can put it on a timer. You can have it run all night until your battery runs down. You can have it run for 1 hour, 2 hours. I tend to go 2 hours. So you set it. Or if I get up at 3, 4 in the morning and I'm awake, I'm starting to think about what I have to do or things that are coming up that next day, I can go, well, I need to get some more sleep. So then I can go get it set up for 2 or 3 hours whenever I'm going to wake up. Anyway, it costs you these $30-40 maybe, and then free. This is not a whole lot to buy yourself a good night of sleep. So this is another active way to approach this problem. And another active thing you need to know about is bone conductivity. There's a system called a Baha system. I think there are a couple of systems, but the one that comes to mind is Baha. And what they do is they take a little receiver and they drill it a hole through your head into the bone. It's not that deep of a hole. It's more like a little pin. And then they put the speaker on it. And what that does is if your ear is messed up, nerve damage, and the eardrum's not working or the cochlea is not working or whatever, this can pick up sound and through the bone conductivity in your head, send it to your brain to get some stereo effect, or even to be able to hear out of the bad side of your head. I've talked to 2 musician friends of mine who have done it, and they have both said it's fantastic. They absolutely loved it. So I looked into it, and I'm not a candidate for it. And it takes, you get to try a headband first, and then the headband push the thing against your head to see if you have some luck with it. It didn't work for me. I can also say this is that sitting in the waiting room, watching these guys go in with this, all infected, having problems with it, like everything, nothing actually is a 100% slam dunk deal. There's always some problems. But it could help you. It's something. It's a phrase to keep in mind when you go in and talk to the audiologist. The bone conductivity. Another active thing that they do is you can have 2 hearing aids, and one hearing aid from the good ear can send a signal over to the other hearing aid in the bad ear, and again, give, even if this isn't working, it can give you a stereo effect. So, in talking to the audiologist, some people, the single-sided deafness aspect of it drives them crazy. Some people, the tinnitus drives them crazy. Some people, the hyperacusis drives them crazy. For me, the single-sided deafness, which is what that kind of thing would help, is pretty far down the list of problems. I mean, in my catalog of problems, single-sided deafness is one of the easier ones for me to deal with. So, but I tell you all that for this, less than $20. These are bone conductive headphones. And what you do, they don't go in your ear. You can move them around till you find a spot on your. They give you suggestions where to put them, so you can hear through these headphones that are transmitting sound to your brain via the bones in your skull. It's the neatest thing. So you plug this in. I use this exclusively for watching TV, because if I'm watching TV, I can't hear it. Everyone else can hear what's going on, but I won't be able to hear it because of the cacophony and noise around. Now, I'll talk more about this in the single-sided deafness aspect of things. This is one of the problems with single-sided deafness. There's no balance, so all sound becomes not layered, but a cacophony of noise. So with that cacophony of noise, people eating, dropping ice in the glass, tinking, someone in another room yelling, dogs barking, I can't hear the TV. So if I put this on, I can hear the TV. And someone talks to me, I can still hear the TV. So less than $20, bone conductive headphones, I'd say it's worth it. Okay, there's one more active thing that you can do, that I do. That's mark your progress. And this will really make you feel good. You may be thinking that this is awful. I don't know how I can deal with this. It just doesn't seem to be getting better. I noticed that when this first hit me, I go to the bathroom and turn on the bathroom fan. That sound of that fan was really hard for me. So I got to the point I'd make sure I put in the earplugs before I went in there and turned the fan on, because it was really hard to deal with. Now I don't even notice it. I remember I was playing guitar. Again, I'm going to have a music section, but just to exemplify this, I used to play the guitar, and it was so loud and it was so distorted. I'd have to put things in the sound hole so I could play it, or play electric guitar with the volume very low. Now it's no problem. 3 years into it, I'm making progress. Driving a car, 2 earplugs in, just awful. The road sound, no radio, no way I could listen to the radio. Now I do have 1 earplug in the good ear to help that balance thing. I can listen to the radio, I can carry on a conversation. At first I couldn't. It's really comforting to mark progress, because then you know that the progress is painfully slow, but you do make progress. We do make progress. I have made progress. And to mark progress in time is an active thing that you can do that will make you feel better, make you feel like this is worth the trouble fighting this. So that's it. That's it for the first part on tinnitus. I hope you're getting something out of this. Let me know if you are. And next section coming up.